Hello, welcome. In this tutorial, I'd like to show you how to value a call option using binomial method. And I'll focus on the one period binomial method. All right. So I got an example from one of the exam papers from Wuxi University, which I will walk you through. Okay. It states, assume a call option with the following characteristics. Now the characteristics are that the current price of this option is $100 and the exercise price or strike price, the other name for exercise price is strike price. The strike price is also $100. What it entails is the current price is the price at which a call option is currently selling, and the exercise price is the price at which a call option will be exercised in future. All right. And then we've got the risk-free rate, which is 7%. The equivalent for the risk-free rate, the examiner can use other terminologies like government bond or a treasury bill. A government bond and the treasury bill, they're equivalent to risk-free rate. The price of the call can go up in one period by 25%, or the price of the call can go down in one period by 20%. All right, let's look at the requirement. Required, calculate the value of the call at expiration. So they want the value of the call at expiration. And then the second question says, calculate the theoretical value of the call option. All right, so the assumption under this call option is that it's a European call option. All right, so let me demonstrate how we get to calculate the value of the call option at expiration. Okay. Now, depending with the examiner, some examiners, they like it when you draw a diagram to indicate the upward swing and the downward swing. So I will do likewise to just indicate how these can be calculated. Let me draw a diagram quickly. All right, so there we go. So let's see, I have an upward and downward swing. I need to indicate the current value of the option. All right, so the current value of the option is basically $100. So I have $100 here. Okay, I have $100 here. There it is. Okay, and this $100 can go up 25% or down 20%. So let's show the upswing. When the price goes up, it will look like that. Now, when calculating the value of the call option, we assume that the maximum can be a 0. So we'll say max. Okay, no. We assume that it's either the maximum or 0, meaning it can never be a negative number. So it's either we get the maximum between the value that we calculate and the 0. So if the 0 is the maximum between the value that we've calculated, then the 0 becomes the price at an expiration. So let's look at this. So I'll say max, and then I'll introduce the brackets there. I'll say 0 comma, what we'll calculate in here, which is the price going up by 25%. So 100 going up by 25%. How much will it be? What is 25% of 100? 25% of 100 is $25 plus 100 itself. This will be 125. All right, 125 minus the excise price. The excise price, you remember the excise price? The excise price is 100. All right. I'll indicate something here just in case. Excise price is 100 here. And then we go 125 there. All right. And then the answer here will be 25. So now we have the 25 there. So between 0 and 25, which one is the maximum? It's 25. All right, so we'll go for 25. And then let's see what happens when it goes down by 20%, as indicated in the question. Okay, so things will look like this. We have max, zero open brackets, and then when the price goes down by 20% in one period of time, so that's 100. What is 20% of 100 is 20. So 100 minus 20, since the price is going down, we're not adding this time around, it will be 80. So I'll indicate the 80 there. And then we say 80 minus the excise price, which is 100. And then we'll have that. Indicate the dollars here so that I'm not penalized by the examiner. Okay. And then we'll have that. And then this will yield us a negative -20. So the maximum between -20 and 0 will be 0. So I'll indicate a 0 here, like that. So we've got two possible prices in one period of time. If the price goes up, the possible price will be 25. But if the price goes down by 20%, the possible price will be 0. So we have attended to the first requirement. Let's look at the second requirement. The theoretical value of the call option. All right, so this one, I'll introduce two formulas that you need to know. Okay, the first formula that you need to know, let me do this quickly. Let me do this. So the first formula that you need to know is this one. This is the formula for the call option. Okay, for the value of the call option. So for valuing the call option, this is actually the formula. And then our P is a formula as well. And this is the formula for the P. You haven't seen, that's our P there. All right. Now I need to define things here. What is my P? What is my R? And what is my D? And what is my U? Okay. So my R is the risk-free rate, which is 0.07. reduce the font there. All right, this is perfect now. So my R is 0.07. My U is when the stock goes down, what is the proportion of it? So we're simply saying when the stock goes down, the possible price for down is 80 because it's going down by 20%. So 80 divided by the 100, which is the original value at the start of the period. This will give me 0.8. Okay. This is when the stock goes down, pardon. When the stock goes down. When the stock goes up, my U will be the stock price, the upward swing is 125. And then we have 100 here. So this gives me 1.25. So my D is when the option goes down, the possible reduction from the original value is 80. So 80 divided by the original value gives me 0.8. When it goes up, my U, okay, so my possible value for going up is 125 since it's going up by 25%. And then I divide it by the original value, which is 100. All right, so it gives me 125. So the first thing I'll begin to calculate is my P, because I cannot calculate or I cannot value the option without calculating the P. So I'll need the P first. So the P is 1 plus R, which is 0.07. My D is 0.8 as indicated here. And then I have my U, which is my upswing, which is 1.25. And then my D again there is 0.8. All right. And then I have that. The top part, 1 plus 0.07 minus 0.8 gives me 0.27, and then 1 minus 1.25 minus 0.8 gives me 1.25 minus 0.8 gives me 0.45. .6. All right, that's my P. Let me see my Q. I need a Q, or I'll just get it like that. Let me just choose everything in the formula so that we can find the value of the core option. So the value of the core option is given by this formula, which is basically P is 0.6 multiplied by the possible price when it goes up, which is 125. So I'll say multiply by 125 here, close the brackets, and then 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.6 multiply by the possible price when it goes down, which is 0. You remember it was a 0 because no, sorry, here the possible price is not 125, it's 25. I'm looking at these two prices here, that one, this one here, and this one there. Okay. So now those are the things I bring in there. Then ARA, my risk-free rate is 0.07. And then I can now calculate the possible core value, which is 0.6 multiplied by 25 gives me 15. 1 minus 0.6 gives me 0.4. 0.4 multiplied by 0 gives me 0. So I don't put anything there. Divide by 1 plus 0.07 gives me 1.07. And then now I can say 15 divided by 1.07. It will give me 14.02. Hence, I've calculated the theoretical value of the core option. So I've dealt with the two requirements that the examiner wanted me to calculate. The first one is the value of the core at expiration. So we have two possible options here. 100 increasing by 25% gave us 125. 125 minus the exercise price, it gave us 25. All right, so we are choosing the biggest number between 25, meaning what we find here, which is 25, and the 0. So the 25 carries the day. And then when it comes here, the downward swing is that the price can go down by 20%. All right, so the price going down by 20% will be 80. 80 minus excise gives me negative 20. The biggest number between negative 20, or the bigger number between negative 20 and 0 will be 0. That's it. Okay, so I call my 25 as my CU, which you are seeing there in that formula, and I call the 0 as my CD. My P I had to calculate. For me to calculate the theoretical value of the core option. So that was the formula for calculating P. I had to fuse in because I needed to calculate my D, meaning the proportion of a downward swing. So when it reduces by 20%, it will become 80. 80 divided by the original value, 100. The initial or the current price. All right. So 80 divided by 100 gives me 0.8. Going up, and the upward swing, it will go up by 25%. So it will become 125. 125 divided by the original value, which is the initial price, 100, gives me 1.25. So in calculating my P here, I had to fuse in these values which are here. So the P is a formula which is given there, which you must master in your exams. And then I had to calculate it that way, and it gave me 0.6. And then I had now to, I have got everything that I need to calculate my core value, which is basically that, which is basically this requirement, the requirement 2 here. Okay, the theoretical value of the core option. I have all the details that I need, and then I need to fuse them in this formula. So I borrowed this formula here, brought it down, and fused in all these details, and I obtained $14.02. Thank you for watching through. Join me in another tutorial